So many interesting stories of entrepreneurial successes, small business advice, and information regarding the employment scene in Chicago. You are listening to the show that is all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship, and we're thrilled to have our next guest, somebody who's really making an impact in the community. We have State Representative Laura Fine, who represents a lot of communities, Glenview, parts of Skokie, Northfield, a whole bunch of areas, and you're really, you've hit the ground running in just 2 years on the job in Springfield. Representative, thanks for joining us and get down to business.
Well, thanks for having me.
So, Laura, you've been working hard over the past year in trying to pass some legislation. Tell us about the things that you're most proud of accomplishing down in Springfield.
Well, over the past 2 years, I've passed a number of bills. This session, my bills really focused on families and helping families out. For example, one of my bills has to do with cyberbullying. And I got this idea from a constituent who's actually my next-door neighbor, who's a psychologist who deals with adolescents. And one day we were talking about the negative effects that cyberbullying has on kids and what schools can do about it. And what we found out was in Illinois, schools are really bound because the current law said that schools can only get involved if the incident happens on school property or with school property. And what we're finding is kids are being bullied in their homes through Facebook, through text messages. And even though it's impacting their performance at school, because they have to face their bullies when they go to school, there was not much that the schools could do. So what we did was we passed legislation that says if the bullying incident is brought to the school's attention and it impacts the child's performance at school, then the school can get involved by enacting the policy that it already has in place. And this is going to help parents. It's going to help students. It's really going to help schools address the problem as well.
And this week on Get Down to Business, we talked a lot about family businesses, and we all know that it's people that make up business. And, you're helping families, and that no doubt has a ripple effect on our business community, which is fantastic. What are your plans for this upcoming session if the voters in the district choose to reelect you and send you back to Springfield?
Well, I'm hoping they do because we have a lot that we're working on and a lot of bills that really impact small business. One bill that we've been pushing for a long time has to do with LLC fees. And Illinois currently has the highest LLC fees in the country. Our current fee is $500, and we really want to be able to lower that fee to about $39 because we feel like if we can lower those fees, and that fee is higher than the corporate fee to incorporate. And in Illinois, the corporate fee, I believe, is $175. And we want to do everything we possibly can in order to encourage more small businesses to form and to grow, because we both know that small business is really at the hub of our economy. And as we see these small businesses grow, we see the ripple effects. We see more people at work. We see more people spending money. We see more tax dollars generated. And that's really what's so important down the line.
It is. And we need to level the playing field, make it easy for businesses to get in business, stay in business. And Michael from Glenbrook is texting in, and he's saying, "Thank you for the work in making it easy for businesses to to incorporate as an LLC, to choose the right option for their business, not based on their wallet." So thank you from our listeners. So Laura, it's gonna be hard work. How do you plan on getting things done when the environment in Springfield, frankly, and in Washington is pretty? I guess I could say it's toxic and somewhat broken. That it's we've got extremes on both sides. How are you going to make it? How are you going to pass bills and make it happen?
Well, I think that, we always hear about the difficult bills that are to pass. And we hear we hear more at the federal level than at the state level, but we hear at the state level, too, that the parties can't come to an agreement. And I think what you see is many times on the large legislation, it's true, where we have a very hard time passing some bills. But on the other hand, we passed about 500 bills this year. And that tells you that there's a lot of bipartisan support out there for a lot of that legislation. And when it comes to businesses, there is a tremendous amount of bipartisan support. So what we have to do is continue to grow these coalitions so we can get this passed. And what's important, too, is to hear from our constituents, Because if you know that, well, the people who live in my district know I'm on board with this. But for people who are in other districts, if they don't know if their legislator is on board with this, they need to send them an email or make a phone call to say, hey, this is important to me. I live in your district. We need you to work towards this solution for us.
Be engaged on the issues. It's so important. If you want something done, don't assume it's going to happen unless you speak up. And Laura, it sounds like you are as engaged as it gets with what's going on in the district, and obviously the LLC bill. It's an important issue. The cyberbullying bill, important issues. And you're listening in, and we've got about a minute remaining. Laura, how can people reach out to your office and tell you about the issues that matter?
Oh, it's very easy to contact me.
I know.
You could go online, and you can go to our website and contact us on our website, or you could just go ahead and send me an email at repfine@gmail.com, or call us 847-998-1717. And right now what I've been doing quite a bit is I'm walking through the neighborhoods, knocking on doors, handing out surveys to find out what are the issues important to the constituents in our area, and also to get bill ideas, because most of my best bill ideas come from people who live in, Glenview, Northbrook, Skokie, Evanston, Wilmette, Morton Grove, Gulf. We're working together, and that's
absolutely
what's going to get the job done.
Well, listeners of Get Down to Business, reach out with your ideas, bill ideas. Representative Laura Fine, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being so attentive to the needs of business, big and small. We want to make Illinois the destination for all sorts of businesses, and you seem to be engaged and committed to making that happen. After the break, I've got lots of networking and business advice for you. Remember, get on my website, shalomklein.com.
I'm Pete Sikorsky,